Well, hello there. We've just left a very windy Donegal airport. You can see here on the map we are inbound for Paderborn Lipstad. As some of you might know, that is a recently accurately mapped airport which is now free to download, so we're going to have a good look at that. I've had a few requests from people to show you how to lock in the localizer, lock in the glide slope, so I'm going to show you that as well. We are filming a IFR flight, which stands for Instrument Flight Rules, rather than a VFR flight, which is a visual flight rules. You usually fly IFR when the weather is going to be pretty poor. I do want to tell you a few things that I've found out since my last film. I'm going to talk you through those now. So we've got the flight here. It's cruising nicely at nearly 21,000 feet. I'm going to show you how to skip forward in the flight. I think we're just at 253 knots, and as you can see outside, absolutely beautiful. When you break through the clouds into the sunshine. It's very, very windy at Donegal. If you've flown from that airport, I think there are 178 mountains in Donegal, but I could not see one of them flying out. The weather was so bad. Right, so let me just show you a few. Let me just show you a few things that I've found out. So, flight nameplates is the first one. So we're going to traffic. Show traffic nameplates. You can have that on, so that's so you can see very clearly other players that are on the map. So that's the first one I've found out. The next one is in miscellaneous. So I didn't know this, but look, you can choose your pilot, which is interesting. I went for this rather happy fella here. You can also choose your co-pilot as well, and this lovely lady will be accompanying me. And I presume that this person is the individual that's training you. I've only done that once or twice, so I haven't really checked that one out. What else have we got? This one's a really good one actually. So I'm just checking my little list I've got here to try and show you. Just bear with me a minute. So let's discard anything in there and into assistance. Now, when you taxiing, a lot of people don't really like doing this, and I've switched it off. But this is really useful for taxiing on an airport, and it puts some arrows onto the floor so that you can navigate directly to the airport that you have selected in the flight plan in the map. Another thing on the map that I didn't notice before is that the fuel. You can see on the map there is a circle which shows you how much fuel you've got. It's like a white circle. However, I have noticed on this game that the fuel is running out much quicker than that circle dictates. So if you go on the world map, you'll be able to see it. So I have put in enough fuel for this particular flight. I think there's something else that I missed out from the previous film, and that was, if you recall, was, let's get inside where it's a bit quieter. It was barometric pressure. I couldn't figure out why the altitude wasn't right. To reset that, as people on the Microsoft Flight Simulator forum have very kindly told me, you just hit B. Simple as that. Hit B on your keyboard, and that will sort that out. So what have we got then? We have got on autopilot. We've got navigation turned on. We've also got VNAV turned on. I have worked out VNAV. It does work very well. You see, if I just decrease the altitude, I might get told off a bit here. Hang on. Just going to decrease the altitude to 20,500 feet. You will see here with VNAV selected, the plane is going down very beautifully indeed. I'm not having to move the control column. It's going down very, very nicely. Speed's about 241. Again, we look to the flight plan. You can see that here. We've set 250 knots, 210. So that's 21,000 feet. So before we do get into a spot of trouble by our traffic controller, let's correct that back to 21,000 feet. Okay, very good. Well, I just wanted to show you those options, I'm going to get much closer, because I'm sure you don't want to watch the whole flight here. I'm going to get much closer to oh, in fact, I've forgotten something. I have forgotten something really important. How do you speed time up? So this took me a while to find, and I'm going to show you this now. So we're going to go into. We're not going to go in there. That is the wrong option. If you did that, you will be slowing yourself down there. We're going to go into sim rate. So you go into the search by name, sim rate, and you do a search. Why is that not working? Am I on the wrong selection here? Bear with me. There we go. We got there. Right. So you need to set. If you want to speed up your flight, you need to set that, and I've set it with the R key and the plus and the minus sign on my keyboard. So I'll show you how this works. I'm just going to go back into the flight now. We'll do it inside, so I'm not having to shout. It's very noisy. So let me show you what that does. I'm pressing it very, very quickly.
Cessna Citation Bravo, you are 500 feet below your assigned altitude.
ATC is still talking to me, but you can see how that is going up and down. But it will maintain most of what you want it to. I wouldn't advise doing this as you're about to approach. And you can see the air traffic controller has got so annoyed me not responding that he's cancelled my flight plan. But anyway, I will correct that shortly. But I just wanted to show you that feature. To speed up a flight, it is very useful. I am going to slow the flight right down now, so we get back to the values that we'd set. Right, I'm going to join you when I'm back on the approach. So see you very soon. Okay, everyone. So I fast forwarded to the approach. Before I just go in to show you the approach into the airport, I can never remember the name of in Germany. I can't pronounce it. I know that is a fact. It has gone dark. Paderborn Lipstadt. There we go. That's the name that trips off the tongue, isn't it? So it has gone dark. I am going to show you how I'm going to approach into this airport. What I will say is speeding the flight up, slowing the flight down, the sim rate options, they are not a friend of autopilot, definitely not. So using that is probably advisable to turn autopilot off. I also couldn't really find a way of knowing how to reset the sim rate back to the normal rate. I didn't realise that if you press the minus key so much it would actually slow it down, and I could tell that by the beacon light flashing at a much slower pace. And I spent a good 5 or 10 minutes, promise you, trying to work out why my autopilot wasn't working, including VNAV, VS, and I honestly thought SimRate had messed it up, but it was me. I hadn't put the rate back to the normal rate. Now I know a lot of you will be telling me that you can use the travel to option. Yep, that is another option for you to use, and I have used that to skip to the final part of the flight, which will get to the point of what I want to show you, which is how to lock in the glide slope. So because I've skipped the flight, I do need to re-engage the nav mode and also the flight director. I also need to reset the altitude. I think we should be at 3,000, but Langen will confirm. 3,000 is here. This is very important. Let's just have a listen. So 30.17. No, we're at 29.92 in terms of barometric pressure. Press B. There we go. It's gone to 30.18. I'm not quite sure why that is, but that's the automated solution. So we are at 239 knots. Let's have a look at our map. Let's zoom out a little bit, see where we are. We've got a little bit of time, but I do want to start slowing down a little bit before we get into the approach, just to give us a little bit more time to prepare for the landing. We're not at 3,000, are we? So let's Shall we use VNAV to get there? Is that going to work? So I know that VNAV does work. We should be at 3,700. We should be at, right? Okay. So we know that VNAV does not track or work with the flight plan. We know that, but VNAV does work when the altitude is set in here. But sometimes I do have to use the vertical speed here to get me to the altitude that I have set. I'm not really sure why, but there we go. Yes, I did copy, but I'm talking to my my viewers and subscribers. Thank you very much. I will acknowledge that. I will let ATC know that I have heard them. So our speed is 193, coming down a little bit, 192. I want to bring it down a little bit more. I do want a bit of time here. So the key thing, right, is to always be looking at this and seeing that you've got certain areas on green. So autopilot is on, great. Longitude navigation is on. That's following the flight plan. Fantastic. Altitude is currently at 2,900. So I probably need to do something with that to make sure we get to the right altitude. Just bear with me a moment. Vertical speed has turned itself off. Yes, it has. There we go. These are all things that you need to work out and play with. You now see the green line is moving up, and now he wants me at 3,000. Right, wants to make his mind up, this fella. We'll go back down again. We shall go back down again. Air traffic control, thank you.
Descend and maintain 3,000 feet, Cessna, Papa Tango, Bravo.
So we're going down to 3,000 feet, but we're not because vertical speed is not on again. So we're going to switch that on again, and we're going to go down. It doesn't want to be on for some reason. I don't know why that is.
KLM 1981, contact Bremen Center on 125.1.
Right, we're about to be on our approach here. Let's drop a little bit more speed. Let's keep an eye on that speed. We want to be 130 for landing, 130 knots for landing. We are going to approach our turn very shortly. Just nudge the power down a little bit more. This is all you need to worry about when you've got everything dialed in, is the speed. Now on this approach you will notice that the purple diamonds that normally appear for the altitude and the longitude are not here. And at the moment, it's quite a busy airport, isn't it? Crikey. At the moment, for this airport, I'm really not sure why they're not appearing. Because we should be contacting or in range of the localizer. I tell you, this air traffic controller, he'll be claiming overtime, this fella. Look at him. I can't get a word in edgeways. Right, so we are getting into our approach now. I'm going to take a little bit more pace off the engines. I'm going to go to the tower, and we're going to contact.
Tower, Cessna Charlie, Alpha Papa Tango, Bravo, 8 miles northeast.
You should be able to see the runway appearing very soon. There it is, in the distance. Can you see it there? Don't need the map anymore. Let's get rid of that. Right, I'm going to hit the approach key. Approach key on. Now let's have a look at this. You can see in white is the glide slope. We have not captured the glide slope yet, but do not panic. We will. Let's keep watching that. Some flaps on now. Landing gear down as well. Watch the speed. Always watch the speed. We're at a very good speed actually at the moment. We might want to nudge the power up a little bit. When you've got the nose directed towards the runway, this is all about managing your power then. Just manage your power, do not adjust the nose. Oh, I forgot air traffic controller. I'm very busy right now.
ILS runway 24, approach Cessna Papa Tango, Bravo.
So this glide slope
Cessna Papa Tango, Bravo, cleared to land runway 24.
should be captured very shortly. I think it's captured. It's capturing anyway. The green line is moving. Oh, maybe it's not quite yet. Check that approach is on. Acknowledge landing clearance.
Cleared to land runway 24 Cessna Papa Tango Bravo.
Still not captured yet. I think maybe when we get over the next waypoint that you can see on the map, we will capture the glide slope. We're nicely lined up for the runway, as you can see. It's just a simple case now of getting the plane down. Are we going to capture that glide slope? The suspense is killing me here, right? There's a little bit more power. We've got the glide slope, there we go. We're starting to move down. The glide slope is in green. It's in green. Now again, I don't know why I didn't need to press this button to activate a localizer. Again, like all of you, I'm still learning here and trying my best to show you what I've learned, but yeah, I'd need to look into that. Let's lower the speed a little bit. Landing gear is down, flaps are down, we're lined up. We are lined up on the runway. We now need to listen out for the commands. We're going a bit too fast. Nudge it down. I want to be at about 130. Need to listen out for our co-pilot now. We're going into 160. I'm nudging the engines down all the time here.
500.
Okay. We are lined up. I'm just going to manually nudge the nose up. I'm dropping the power. That was a very, very heavy landing. Well, what glide slope locking doesn't make you is a wonderful pilot. But I have shown you what I needed to show you, so I'm gonna keep practicing, guys. I'm sure you're gonna nail the landing. Come and share with me your attempts. I would really like to know. Why I didn't need to change and lock in localizer on the swap nav. It might be down to different airports, but I'll go and do some digging on that. I hope that was useful for you, and I will one day post a video where I absolutely nail the landing. Trust me, I have done it a few times. Take care. Leave me a like, subscribe, and I'll do some more videos very soon.